Chapter 28. Next thing I remember was that 2 police officers squeezed through the crowd that had gathered around us, arresting the guy. Some people had been holding him down on the ground, but then chaos broke out, as other people meant that the guy just had been defending himself. Okay, maybe it wasn't very gentlemanly to beat the shit out of a baby, but wasn't that my own fault? Showing up with 2 of my friends like that and totally unprovoked attacked a stranger, and on top of that I had been cowardly enough to fight 3 against 1, which honestly made the guy seem more impressive, almost like a hero. More patrols arrived and searched through the park until they found Joshkun and Alexander. They put us all in handcuffs. A witness said that he'd seen both fights and could tell them the whole truth.
That baby crawled up to Cryas, begging for ice cream. And Cryas was just trying to be nice, so he handed him this gigantic ice cream. And then the baby just spat the ice cream in his face, dude. Saying that it was disgusting. That he could not believe people were paying for this shit. And I've known Cryas for a long time. He's the most peaceful guy there is. But he takes so much pride into what he's doing. And when the baby spat in his face, it was like needles in his eyes. Especially since he was trying to be nice. So Cryas pushed the baby a little bit and told it to leave. Then like an hour later, he came back with his 2 friends, and Cryas was just right over there, minding his own business. And the first guy walked up to him and just unprovoked tore out Cryas from the ice cream stand and started to beat him up until Cryas could fight them off.
Dude, Joshkun looked at me. You never told us that you spat in his face? That's like the most ungrateful thing I've ever heard. And I've had the ice cream. It's delicious. Thank you, the guy owning the ice cream stand said, kneeling beside us, with his hands behind the back. Hey, no problem, man. I am so sorry about all this. He never told us any of this. He just showed up out of nowhere, cried like a baby, and wanted people to feel sorry for him. But I tell you, if I were you, I would not have let him get away that easy.
Yeah, I know, he said. People always say I'm too nice, but I ain't an angry person.
I suddenly realized that everybody was looking at me, like they thought that this was my fault. When I tried to protest, Joshkun said that no one cared about what a liar had to say. Can you confirm this? The police officers were talking to another witness. Is this what happened?
Pretty much so. I always stand behind those trees over there and photograph the children as they buy ice cream. So I saw everything as it happened. Wait, I got it here,
the man said and picked up his camera.
The first pictures are of children. Wait, I will jump 100 pictures at a time.
Then the man smiled awkwardly at the police officers as the camera flipped through hundreds of pictures with children. You really like to photograph children?
Yeah, it is a hobby I have. It'll just take a short moment. Just a short moment. Here. This is the first picture, he said and jumped back a little bit. You can see him in the edge of this photo with the girl in the green dress. This is the picture when the guy in the ice cream stand is pushing the baby. And then I will jump 100 pictures again. Here is when the baby comes back with his 2 friends.
These are great pictures, one officer said. Would you mind if we kept the memory card as evidence?
Not at all,
said the man, and removed the memory card from the camera.
As long as I get it back.
Thank you, okay, the sergeant said. I think we have seen enough here, Mr.
Samaras.
Mr. Samaras, you're free to go. Sorry for all the trouble. The other 2 are coming with us.
No! Wait, we're innocent!
Joshkun yelled.
The baby was lying to us the whole time!
Get them out of here, the sergeant said. Mr. Samaras, you might be later called as a witness. What about it? One officer said, looking at me.
What are we doing with the baby?
I don't know. Someone should just drive it home to its mom.
We can take him home,
one officer said, walking up to us.
We've done it before.
It was Tian and Crindel.
Sorry we are late,
Tian said, looking around.
We came here as soon as we could.
I bet you did, the sergeant said. You know how they say better late than never? That ain't true. It would be better if you never show up. Then maybe I could go one whole day without that voice in the back of my head saying I am surrounded by total incompetence. Yes? Questions?
No,
Tian said.
I just wanted to say that we all have to sink really low, like this low to make you shine.
Get out of here.
You sure? Because we can also stay, if you want us to do something around here.
Is your ponytail too tight? Just take the baby and get out of my sight.
As you wish.
Tian smiled, like she tried not to laugh, and then she walked up to me. Without saying a word, she undid my handcuffs, and then we completely professionally walked up to their police car. But as soon as we had closed the door, she turned around.
Sir Lanka, it's so good to see you, man. I thought that I told you to stay out of trouble.
It wasn't my fault. I didn't mean to make the man in the ice cream stand look bad. I just wanted someone to feel sorry for me after he pushed me. And then the guys just decided that we should go over there and kick his ass. I tried to stop them, but they said that we could take him because one of them used to be a boxer. And I honestly felt it could be kind of funny to see the guys beat him up, because I was kind of angry at him for pushing me, but I did not even punch him. I was crawling around and tried not to get stomped on, but his friend completely left out that he kicked me.
Easy, cowboy.
Chen started the engine.
Man, we can't even leave you alone for 5 minutes without you getting into trouble. It's a good thing we showed up, though. Now we can just drive you around for half an hour. We do not have to answer any calls before our shift is over. That's the worst. And it's like only 10 minutes left of the shift, and then you have to respond to a call, and then you work 3 more hours because you had to take someone to the station and do all the paperwork. And they don't even compensate you for that shit. So where do you want to go?
Oh, we were actually heading to Boris's house, so if you could drop us off there, that would be great. Greendale and Chen looked at each other.
You want to go back to that girl's apartment? What was her name?
Can't remember.
Huh? No, that was Boris's fake apartment. Now we're going to his real one.
Okay, and do you know where it is?
Wait, I'll ask Boris. Boris, what's the address of your real apartment? He says it's Red Cat Road, number 42.
Okay, I got it here on the screen.
This should be interesting,
Greendale said, leaning with her elbow against the door. It was actually very ironic that Boris would live on Red Cat Road. Growing up, I remember it had always been my mother's dream to live in Hillsworth. It was a rich neighborhood in the west part of the city that was known for its mansions and exclusive architecture. She could sit for hours and look through magazines, dreaming about all the things she would do if she were rich.
Look at all these pictures,
she would say.
So elegant. They even have a road that's called Red Cat Road.
And now Boris happened to live in that neighborhood? It was almost too good to be true. Could you imagine how mad she would get if I called her up and said, Mom, guess what? I'm living in a super big mansion in Hillsworth now, and tomorrow I'm going to crawl down to the employment agency to sign a record deal to become a superstar. We drove for about 20 minutes before we stopped at Red Cat Road, number 42. Greendale and Chen got out first and looked curiously at me, like they were wondering what would happen next. Some of the people who passed on the sidewalk were looking suspiciously at Boris and me. Wow, what a beautiful house you live in, I said as I crawled up the stairs to number 42. Do you live up in the penthouse?
Oh, that's not my house.
It's not?
No. I live in there.
He said and pointed at an alleyway next to the house. So we crawled into the alleyway and I was thinking to myself, what the hell is going on? After a little while, we found a cardboard box behind a dumpster. We all looked at Boris.
Well,
he said,
this is it. This is where I live. I would ask you all to come inside, but...
This is it?
Yes, I usually take off my legs so that I can fit inside the box when I'm sleeping, but if you want, we can just sleep in the other direction, so that we have our heads inside the box and our legs like this. Or we could perhaps even find some more cardboard boxes to put out, so that we wouldn't have to sleep directly on the ground.
You're kidding me? This is a prank or something. Is there a homeless person that lives here?
No, I am living here. I've been living here for about a month.
But what about your boyfriend? What about working in Bollywood? I thought you were rich. I felt like my whole world was torn apart in front of me, like the panic attack came back. You could have told me, right there and then. Why would you waste my time and drag me down here just to show me a cardboard box?
Because I was embarrassed, okay? I was not going to bring you here at first, but you kept insisting.
But why didn't you tell me?
Because I wanted to look good in front of you. I never expected that I would meet you at the dump. I was there because I was looking for secondhand clothes.
This is a nightmare,
I mumbled to myself.
Could I stay at your place? Not a chance,
Chen said when I suddenly looked at her. We only got 2 beds. Oh, I don't need my own bed, I said. I can share one with you. That's no problem at all.
No, Sir Lanka, what Chen was trying to say is that you can't stay with us.
Why not?
Because Chen, explain why Sir Lanka can't stay with us.
Because we also live in a cardboard box.
Yes,
Krindel said.
and that's the reason why you cannot stay with us. You should stay here with Boris. You'll have more space here. We are already 2 in our box.
Okay.
Look, Sir Lanka, our shift is over, so we have to go. But maybe we'll come to see you.
And then they walked away, leaving me sitting there.
Are you planning to look for something better?
Boris said, looking at me. No, I'm going to move in here.
No problem. There's one condition, though. Something you have to do before I let you stay.
And that is?
That you beg for it.
What?
I just want to make sure that you understand that you have no other place to go.
That's insane.
Perhaps, but that is the only way I'll let you stay.
I ain't going to beg you just so I can stay in a cardboard box behind a dumpster.
Fine, then you can stay someplace else.
I looked hatefully at Boris. Can I please stay with you? I mumbled. I have no other place to go.
What? Didn't hear that.
Can I please stay with you? I said out loud. I have no other place to go.
Well, of course! Why didn't you just say so? Of course I'll let you stay, but only for a few days. Then I want you out of here. This is not a shelter for homeless people.
I could have murdered Boris in that moment, but I told myself that it was only for today. Maximum for a couple of days. Tomorrow I would crawl down to the employment agency and sign a record contract so that I finally could become a superstar.